Hey everyone, it's Blockchain Bernie here with my latest episode, and this one is about cheaters in the Web3 space. The fake Web3 guys, the ones that take shortcuts and make you believe they are Web3 while they are not. So, man, not all of the companies and the projects that I'm talking about in this video deserve those names that I just called out, but all of them have one thing in common. They try to take shortcuts, right? They try to make the impression that they are Web3, and they feel, it's so complicated to do real Web3, so they do something else, right? But they don't really tell you that in the face. And let me talk about a few of these projects, right? Let me start with one project that's called Flux, right? Flux is like you can buy nodes and then there's computational power on these nodes and stuff like that. And I was diving into Flux, what really is it, for a long time. And the thing is, they don't tell you, hey, we don't do this and that, right? They don't tell you what they don't do. And none of the projects does it, right? That's normal, right? And I'm not telling you this is a scam or anything. So Flux guys, please don't sue me, anything. I think it's a great project, and you know, it is what it is, but it seems like, you know, these nodes run some blockchain software that does some proof of stake and has some real decentralization in the sense of blockchain, you know, with censorship resistance and all these type of things. It is not one of these projects, right? It is you run a node, and then on that node, you know, normal software each and every software can be running on there, just as if you do it on a centralized platform like AWS or stuff like that. And then they sell these services. So man, this Flux is indeed a centralized organization, right? So they charge you money, you can pay with credit card and stuff like that, and it just goes to that very normal centralized Web2 company. And you know, they sell these services. They say it's decentralized, but what is decentralized is just the work that's being done. The organization is still centralized with Flux. It's a centralized organization. It has centralized control over everything, and they just delegate the work. Otherwise, they would have to hire people that do the work, and it costs a lot of money. They let you do it, right? They let their community do it. They pay them in crypto. And that crypto has nothing to do with what they do, right? It's just like, we pay you in some crypto, and then many people, I feel it's a little bit deceptive. Many people think like, oh, I'm in a crypto blockchain project and stuff like that, right? But they only delegate the work, they pay people in crypto, and then they sell what you have created for them in real money. You pay with a credit card in you know, good old Web2 thing. So that's what Flux is. And the next project would be Storj, STORJ. Decentralized storage, right? What is decentralized is only the people providing the service, right? They provide storage, they pay you in their tokens, but then everything else is Web2, is centralized, and they still sell that storage with a credit card. And that is not Web3. It is not full blockchain and stuff like that, right? Not to say that these projects are bad. It's very valid business models. Absolutely, right? But it's tough for us to figure that out, right? To see which ones are the real full-blown blockchain projects and which ones are the ones that kind of look like they are blockchain projects, but they are not, right? So there is a lot of these. And a third example, let me give you is Hive Mapper, right? I love Hive Mapper. They say, okay, we're an alternative to Google Maps, and you can buy their dash cams and drive through all the streets, and they create all their maps from it, right? And it's all on the blockchain. And in the beginning, they said we store everything on the blockchain and things like that. But they figured out, they really cannot, because, storage in Web3 is an unsolved problem at scale, at least, right? There's no scalable storage in Web3, and that's why we at Xandeum are working on that, and I'm very proud of that. More info in the description. But, I signed up for their Discord because there was no information on the Hive Mapper website on, where the data is actually stored. So I asked it on their Discord, and guess what? Ariel Seidman, the founder and CEO, he responded to me personally, which is great, right? And he said, well, we store it on AWS, right? So this is also not a real Web3 company. They're experimenting with Filecoin, they said. So they want to store it someday on the blockchain, not sure. But they sell your data also. They make you do the work that otherwise their employees would have to do, right? They pay you in tokens. That's all there is. That's all what's blockchain about it, right? But everything else, storing the data, selling the data, it's a centralized organization. Only they centralized own that data that you create while driving with your car with their dash cam. And they are selling it, in a Web2 fashion with credit cards, right? So there are so many projects like these. I also want to mention Internet Computer, ICP, and Dfinity. They are more blockchain than the others, but still it's a little bit like not so decentralized. And then they have their subnets, and they don't have real smart contracts. They have canisters. So it is not really Web3, and they are trying to take a shortcut as well and make something that is not the real thing, and in my view, and try to take shortcuts there, and that's perfectly fine, and the market will decide on where things are going. But I have looked into all of these projects and how are they being used. How many transactions per second are actually being made by real people, by users, right? And the thing that I found is with everything that's the real blockchain smart contract technology, like Ethereum, like all the Ethereum L2s, like Solana, like Avalanche, and all these, we see a lot of transactions each and every second, right? With some other projects, we see one transaction every few minutes, right? So it's like, there's a transaction again, right? So it's like, and even on ICP, we don't see much usage as of now, right? And there is even projects that do the real thing, like Cardano, for example, and their usage has been around one transaction per second for some time now, right? Well, and I'm as you know, I'm a big Solana fan. So look at Solana. We have like hundreds of transactions, real, workload, payload transactions, hundreds of payload transactions each and every second, right? We've been having that for ages, and even now, after all the FTX disaster and stuff like that, it is still like 300, 400, 500 payload transactions. I'm not counting the vote transactions here, right? So with vote transactions, we're at 4,000 or so a second, right? But only the real transactions that users actually choose to run something on the Solana chain, several hundred each and every second. So this thing is really being used. We know Ethereum is being used. That's why the fees are so high, and Ethereum doesn't scale. It doesn't scale up with, man, it doesn't scale up with the users that are on there. So yeah, but there are so many projects that are not the real technology, and it seems these projects are not being used. Some of them still have a super high market capitalization. I don't know why. Maybe their fans bought it in the early days. Nobody else bought it, and the fans just keep it. They refuse to sell, so the price stays up. I'm not sure. There are so many projects that are not being used, and they are not the real technology. They are a little bit deceptive, and some of them you might call the fake Web3s, the fake cryptos, and there are so many out there that look like, you know, advanced technology, and they use all the words and buzzwords and stuff like that, but they're trying to do shortcuts, and they're trying to monetize quickly there, and you need to watch out what's going on there. And do you have any crypto project that you want me to talk about specifically and look into? Let me know in the description. I might make a specialized video about it. And yeah, in the meantime, give me that thumbs up. It really means a lot to me. And subscribe to my channel to get some more info. So for now, thanks for watching, and catch you guys later. Bye.